So yeah, make yourself valuable. You know, add value to what you already have, and this comes down to you or me or us developing ourselves, because I do believe that each person, each one of us is made for a very, very specific purpose, you know. And when you're made for that particular purpose, you are made raw for that purpose. You know, you have the talent, you have the ability, you have the potential, but then again, you have to develop it. It's up to you. Um, God does not give us a complete chair, a complete table. You know, He gives us a tree, like TD Jake said one day. Like, He gives you a tree, and then you have to figure out how to cut that tree and shape it into a table. You have to figure out how to take some steel nails and turn them into nails, some steel, and then turn them into nails, and then drill them inside the table to make a complete table. Like, before you change a tree to a table or to a chair that you can sit on, it's a long process, and you have to develop it. And that is just how God has made us. He just gives us the raw materials to do whatever that we need to do, or whatever that He made us to do. And just to emphasize a bit more on this purpose part, it is it is so very true. Like, I have no doubt in my head that each one of us was made for a very, very specific purpose, unique to yourself. This is the reason why I've been reading this book called Darwin Under a Microscope. It's an incredible book, and what I've taken from that book is that God is just so specific in details, like when He's designing a cell, He designs it to be self-sustaining by itself. Like, a cell is microscopic. We can barely see it, but it has a nucleus, it has a mitochondria, it has a wall, it has membranes inside of it, it has the cytoplasm inside of it, and all these things have a very specific purpose to make that cell stay alive, you know. And if that cell was made, and if that single nucleus in the cell was made for a purpose, the mitochondria was made for a purpose, the cytoplasm was made for a purpose, and it's just that minute, then I am a collection of those cells. Like, personally, everybody is a collection of cells. So that basically means that even the whole was made for a singular purpose, like for something. Like, I don't know what it is, but there is something. And you can figure out your purpose, or why you are made, by looking at the raw materials that you have. You should you can look at the things, the natural talents that you have, the natural gifts that you have. Like, personally, I am very gifted in words. I have a way with words. Like, with words, I don't have to sit down and think for so long, you know. But then again, raw talent, just the way it is from birth, is not enough to get you somewhere. You need to develop it. You need to get it somewhere. We have seen this in athletes. Like, somebody just gets the ball in soccer and they are very good at it, but if they don't work out, if they don't go get coached, if they don't listen to someone else out there, if they don't watch soccer games and find out how to act in different scenarios, if they don't build their self-esteem, their confidence in the game, then they're not gonna get somewhere with it. So the the main idea here is develop the talents that you have to a point where they can actually sustain you, and the reason why it is very important to develop what you have, as opposed to just going out there and getting a job for a livelihood, or just getting employed, or just building someone else's dreams, is because of fulfillment. you know Ask yourself, like, when I'm done, when I'm 70 years old, and I want to sign out from this life and all that. When I look back at my life, am I gonna be happy with how I lived my life? trust me, it won't matter how much money you've accumulated, how many houses you've built, if that you didn't do it to fulfill, like for your own happiness, for your fulfillment. And fulfillment is not accumulating things for yourself. Fulfillment is doing things that build your soul, that give you joy. And the things that give you joy actually are not the things that you accumulate for yourself, but are the things that you share with others. So you have to get to that point where you develop your skills to a point where you can share them with others. You can make someone else's life better. You can add some value to someone else's life because of how much value you've added to yours. And you don't have to go through the process. If you choose to just do the bare minimum and just survive and just live your life and die, and it's okay, no problem. It's okay. But if you're looking for something more, if you're looking to get the very best out of this life experience that you have, this life experience that we've been blessed with, then it's very important for us to seek out those gifts that you have, those raw materials that God has already put inside of you and me. Because once you develop those raw materials, then it will be almost second nature to you. We're gonna know you for what you do, like how we know Michael Jordan for what he does, because of how much he developed what he already had. He was athletic, he was tall, he was long, but he had to figure out, okay, so how am I gonna use my athleticism, my brain, my competitive nature to bless someone else, And he developed it. He worked so hard at the game to an extent that Michael Jordan at one point was the single most famous athlete in the world because of one single game, because he developed the simple things that God gave him. That was an era when the people that were thriving most were scholars and people who of academia, and people who were doing other things other than sports. You cannot think that a sports personality can inspire children in India, children in Africa to want to play basketball. But it's just because he developed the raw talent that he had, the raw materials that he had. So once you realize what you have been gifted with, and you realize that it's mine and it's this, it is so much better to develop what you already have, what you're already good at, than to go out there looking for a job, working for someone else, and first of all, they're gonna underpay you. And first of all, when a crisis like this corona thing comes, you're gonna be retrenched, But when you're doing something that is you, that is representing you, like when I do that, that is throwing a piece of me out there. Every time I speak, I'm throwing a piece of myself out there, and that is what fulfills me. It gives me joy, it gives me happiness, and I'm happy. And I am planning to develop this thing until it blesses more and more people. I'm going to develop it as best as I can. I want to reach as many people as I can. I want to touch as many people as I can with my experiences, with my experiences, because I do believe that when we share experiences with one another, we do help each other grow. We do help each other overcome situations that someone may be in a situation and they feel very, very stuck, But if I share my experience and how I unstuck, I unstuck myself, is there a word like that? Yeah, how I unstuck myself, then it blesses someone else and it makes them realize, I'm not here forever, So my plea is just develop yourself. Make God proud by developing what He gave you. I know most of us respect and love God, and we want to make Him proud. So the only way you can make Him proud is not by pleasing other people or trying to get validation from other people, but by actually developing what He gave you and using it to better the lives and the lifestyles of the people that He also created. So the message today is just develop yourself and develop what you have naturally. Peace as always. God bless.